Hello, everyone, and welcome to Personal Foul with Cameron Sadeghi and Jordan Hunter. We got a lot of NBA and NFL talk. We're going to start with the NBA and domestic charges against Jeffrey Taylor, the Charlotte Hornets forward. Is Jeffrey Taylor, or should the... Actually, I'm not going to ask the Jeffrey Taylor thing right now. I'm just going to ask, should the NBA follow the NFL's procedures and deactivate... Not deactivate, what am I saying? Should the NBA kick Taylor out of the league?
See, this is interesting. I'm curious how the NBA handles this. You know, he's already been removed from the Hornets' activities after, the arrest of the domestic assault. I don't know. I think the NBA and Adam Silver are going to take more of a passive approach and wait till things actually play out. I don't think they're going to be so quick to jump to the gun. I know Adam Silver, he's seen what the NFL has done. He's going to use that to kind of guide into what they should do with Jeffrey Taylor. I hope they don't, give him something soft like Goodell did with Ray Rice, 2 games. I hope Jeffrey Taylor doesn't get like a 10-game suspension for this. We remember when Ron Artest had the Malice in the Palace, how long he was suspended. That was... Cameron, you know how many games? Was it the whole season?
It was like half a season.
I think Taylor should be... I go suspend him until more is found out. I don't think he should be allowed to play until everything is sorted out.
Yeah, I think we should wait for legal action. But the good thing is that he's deactivated right now. Because I think, we need to wait and see. And to me, I really believe this. If he is found guilty, I don't think he should be in the league. I think you have to start and be aggressive because if you just give a soft, maybe half the season type of suspension, if he is found guilty, then players won't really think twice. I think if you tell the players that you'll be banned from the league if you are found guilty of these type of charges, there will never be any domestic assault incidents.
Yeah, this is if you're found guilty, it's against the law. Things like I'm going to go back to the NFL. Things like Spygate and Bountygate with the Pats and the Saints. That's not against the law. I mean,
yeah,
it's against league rules, and that's why the Patriots did lose a draft pick, and then lose their first round draft pick, and the Saints lost their coach. And this is against the law, so this has to be taken totally different. This can't be taken with a grain of salt. This has to be taken with severity, and you have to look at this as a way of you can't hit women. It's that simple. I don't know why guys haven't learned in the past you can't do that.
Yeah, I think I feel like some athletes feel like they have so much power because they're always on national TV and everything. I talked about it yesterday. I think you have to come down harsh, and to me the NBA is the most progressive league. I think they're the one league that would really come down hard on the players. I see the NFL as kind of a conservative league, in my opinion. So I think the NBA will get this one right.
Yeah, definitely. I think the NFL is the NFL is more conservative, and you saw in the NBA though with what Adam Silver did with Donald Sterling, and he gave him the business, gave him the harshest fines. Couldn't go anywhere near the Clippers. And I really like the way that he did that, and I think from here on out, any charges, banned substances, that'll have to go into effect. And I don't know if the NBA is going to look at their substance abuse policy as the NFL did, but they probably should definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree there. But I think the NBA has come down pretty hard on the substance abuse thing. I mean, with the Hedo Turkoglu incident, when Hedo looked like a refrigerator running down the floor. I mean, I don't want to be too mean to Hedo Turkoglu, but yeah, I think
You look at like Nick Kalathis, who was banned for the rest of the season, basically.
Yeah.
Last season because he was taking pills because his hair was thinning and he was going bald. But if it's on the banned substance list, regardless of your situation, you can't take it, or the NBA will find out. People think, oh, they're not going to find out. They will. Look at Josh Gordon multiple times.
Yeah.
I don't know who's advising him, who's saying, oh, you're good this time. They're going to get you, Josh Gordon. They're going to get you. You're not invincible. You're not Superman. The NBA is not going to pass over you after you've done it twice already.
Well, Josh Gordon's like a repeat offender.
Yeah.
I mean, he's continued to go in that path, unfortunately for him. Let's go on to some of the other NBA stories around the league. And one of the interesting news that we heard was Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's now the point guard of your Milwaukee Bucks. Is Giannis going to be an all-star point guard in the future?
First of all, I don't label him as a point guard. I don't think he is a point guard. What I think Jason Kidd was saying was Antetokounmpo will play some point guard. He'll bring up the ball sometimes. But I think the point guard still on the team is Brandon Knight. Antetokounmpo is still that small forward. I don't think it's wise for Jason Kidd to put the ball in his hands, so that's just going to lead to turnovers because a guy who doesn't play the position naturally like Knight does can handle it. His assist numbers are going to go down. His turnover numbers are going to go up. I wouldn't start him at point guard if I was the Bucks. I'd keep him at that small forward position where he's most comfortable, where he played last season and over summer. Just, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, but I think like Jason Kidd's trying to mold him into like a Scottie Pippen type player, like a big guard, like a Tracy McGrady, LeBron, like someone who's 6'8" and 6'6", 6'8" and over that can handle the ball and make decisions with the ball in his hands. And I think that's what they're trying to do with Giannis. I think it's a good idea, but I don't know right now if his fundamentals are as polished. He's certainly athletic, but I agree with you. I'd go with Brandon Knight right now and then try to develop those really fundamental guard skills later on. I think Giannis needs to wait, and Brandon Knight should start as the point guard for Milwaukee. And injury news, we had Tyreek Evans out 3 to 5 weeks with a hamstring strain. And then Rondo with a broken hand, he's out 6 to 8 weeks. Which does this hurt more? Are the Pelicans really in a dangerous spot with no Tyreek, or is Boston's season's done with no Rondo?
Boston's season was done regardless.
What?
I'm sorry, Cameron, but I'm looking at a calendar right here. With Rondo, he'll be back beginning of November, first or second week of November, so he'll miss a week or two of the season, which is bad again because he's not going to be there for opening day. He wasn't there for opening day last year either. He missed, a good chunk of the season. Now his team may be already on a roll, but obviously the starting spot's there for him. Marcus Smart isn't going to take it, but it's just another injury to Rondo's career, and with the ACL 2 years ago and this. It's just not been a good year. And then Tyreek, he'll miss all of training camp and preseason like he did last year also with the ankle injury. And yeah, Tyreek hasn't been healthy a lot of his career. So this is just another bump in the road for him. But it's a Pelican team that's definitely looking up.
Yeah, I think the Pelicans will be good. Now you got Omer Asik and you got Davis, who came back from FIBA play. I think Tyreek and the Pelicans will be okay, but I agree with you. I do believe this. If Rondo was healthy the entire year, they had a fighter's chance for the 8th spot. I think they're better than the Knicks. If they had Rondo, they would be better than the Knicks.
You think they'd be better if they had... Well, he's not surrounded with much talent. Like, who are they going to be looking... It's just him and Jeff Green, really, who could constantly...
And Jared Sullinger. I think Jared Sullinger is the real deal. I really think he is.
He could be... could see him as a most improved player candidate because usually the guys, are in their third year or up, and I could see him as a most improved player candidate easily, averaging maybe 16 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Boston team. They're poor. I'm sorry for Rondo, and it was a freak accident. He broke his hand in his house.
Yeah,
It wasn't like a basketball.
We've heard weird stories. Like, I remember one time, I think it was Dante Culpepper, like, broke his toe at his house, like, on accident. Or we've heard crazy stories when it comes to athletes and getting hurt. So, unfortunately for Rondo and Tyreek.
Yeah, you look at in the NFL, Stephen Tulloch just tore his ACL from celebrating.
Yeah.
No one is safe for injuries. It's crazy how now injuries aren't even happening on contact plays, happening on these non-contact plays, and it's just sad. Yeah,
it's really unfortunate. Speaking of a team that's pretty old and they've had some injuries, the Brooklyn Nets. You say they might not be that bad. Are they too old, or can they make a big playoff push?
I don't think a big playoff push like they were projected this past season. We know this season was kind of a disaster for them. But a playoff push, yes. They have Brook Lopez coming back. He said he's healthy. Joe Johnson, you can never count him out. Darren Williams, his ankles are always an issue. But if he's 80% and can get you 15 or 16 a night, then you're good. They did lose Paul Pierce and Sean Livingston. But a guy I think can really help them is Jarrett Jack. We know he played that super sub role in Golden State 2 seasons ago. I think he could do the same thing in Brooklyn and he could fill it up. And Lionel Hollins will be asking a lot from him off the bench, off a team that has a bench that's not going to produce that much.
And he'll make sure to tell Jarrett Jack to play some defense, which, I mean, Jarrett Jack doesn't really... He's not a great defender, but I think, to me, if it was Jason Kidd back with this talent, I don't know if they would go far. They would struggle to make their way. But with Lionel Hollins, I think they're the real deal still. Will they win a playoff round? Yeah, I think so, but other than that, I think they'll get bounced out in the second round.
Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't make the same mistake twice and try to hire a first-year coach like Steve Kerr. I'm glad they went a seasoned veteran coach like Lionel Hollins. That was a smart move by them because they know that they needed a really good coach this time around.
Yeah, and speaking of the Nets, Kidd used to be the Brooklyn Nets head coach, Jason Kidd, and now Joe Johnson said, well, Jason Kidd didn't really run any practice. So, was Jason Kidd a mediocre coach last year with incredible talent?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna flat out and say it. He was a mediocre coach. I think the Bucks fit him much better. Young talent, not old veterans who are impatient and want a deep playoff run. He wasn't the right personality for that Nets team.
Yeah.
They need a don't take crap type of coach like Hollins is.
Yeah. They
don't need a coach who's getting pushed over by Cage and Paul Pierce. You know what happened multiple times.
Yes, it did.
Practices. I could already see it. I could already picture it. But yeah, it just wasn't the right fit for him. I hate to say it, but he was the bad coach because of his personnel. His personnel didn't fit with his type of coaching.
Yeah, not just his personality. I thought Kidd wanted to get it up and down the floor. I think Kidd's more of an up-tempo guy, and the Nets were one of the oldest teams in the league. So I think now with the young Bucks, with Giannis, who's athletic, and all this talent, it seems like it's a good fit for Milwaukee and Kidd. But come on, Joe, at least pay some respect to your coach.
Yeah. Speaking of the Bucks, I think the Bucks will finish in the top 5 in fast break points.
Yeah.
I think they run a lot.